Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yeah, man, they bust that gun, man, and get on the ground. Everybody started getting on the ground, and I remember Knockout saying, "Get down, man, spread out, cause if you hesitate to get down, then they see you and you still ain't down. By the time they holler get down and they done bust the gun, next thing you know, they aiming at you." So, man, it was crazy the first time I really seen them bust that joint just because dudes was arguing. It was just wild, man, and the way they came in and what they did and how long they had us down there, it was just all crazy, man. It's just insanity, you know. So, yeah, that was like, you know, and I'm still in the intake block. So, maybe like a week later or something, man, I think Knockout got moved because he had already prior been in there. So he ended up getting moved out. So now I'm in the cell by myself, wondering what type of person I'm going to get up in this cell next. Because like I say, I'm already on some high alert stuff. I can't be dealing with no clown coming in this cell. And I can remember they put a little young dude in there, man. His name was Keon, man. Shout out to Keon. He's still locked up. Keon Pulley, you know. And he was a cool little young dude, man. He was young. He wasn't more like 21, 22, something like that. Man, people done gave him an old rack of time because I think he ended up having I don't know if he had a murder charge or he had a attempted murder charge or whatever, man, but it was all over a bad drug deal, man. And I just remember him telling me the story. It was just so crazy because he like a humble dude, you know, a little young dude, humble and everything, man. But he was out there, man. He was in the he was in the weed game, man. And he remember saying he was getting his weed, copping his weed for some Arab dudes, man. And they ended up beating him, man, and gave him some what he said it was baby food. And he thought it was weed, man. And once he found out it wasn't, he went back and tried to get his money back, and they tried to muscle him, and they didn't want to give him his money back, man. He ended up going back up there with the 4-5, and, you know, stuff happens, man. You know, that ends you up in prison. That's what I say, make good decisions, man. Make good decisions. And, yeah, but he was my celly. Another thing that I remember about him that was so crazy, he's a grown man, but he had this severe fear of clowns, man. He couldn't even watch clowns on a TV commercial, not even a Ronald McDonald commercial. He'd turn his head because he had a traumatic experience with clowns when he was young, man. So that really messed him up, man. But he was a good dude, man. And, you know, I try to give him a little game because he's starting out in his bid and everything. And then, like I say, a lot of dudes start out up there at Wallace Ridge, man. And it'll give you a false sense of what prison is really like. Because most dudes, when you come in, you go to another receiving. But now when they had built these prisons under this fake criteria, whatever they told the state to get these prisons built, and you know, the dream that they sold them, like these are supposed to be supermax, man, you know, for the incorrigible, the people that can't be changed. And yet they didn't have enough people in the Virginia system to, you know, fit this criteria. Most of the dudes, it was, you know, ultra violent and had to live that way was dudes from back in the day when I first came in, because this is the only way they had to live to survive. And now most of these dudes was older. They was either phased out of the system or they was just too old to be, you know, major hell raisers and stuff like that. So they didn't actually have enough people to fill these beds. But in order to keep these prisons open, they started putting people up here that was gang members, or they started putting people in that was just coming in the system. They had a whole lot of time. That didn't meet the criteria because you hadn't did anything in the system to be on the supermax. But yet they was doing it because they had to fill these bed spaces, and they had to make the people keep these prisons open and make them believe that this was necessary. But it wasn't. You know, some of these dudes ain't know nothing about prison. So what are you doing on a supermax? You know, so it was crazy, man, the way the prison was being run, the way the politics was involved in it. And it was an eye-opener. It made you start looking at the system different. It made you start understanding what was really going on, what your life value was, and what they value, the value that they put on your life. it was an eye opener to me, at least, you know. So yeah, he was learning, man, and I was giving him a little game. You know, he done found out I was out and everything. He's contacted me. I'm in contact with him. Hitting him on the kiosk or whatever, trying to keep him, encouraged and motivated or whatnot, man. So hopefully he'll, be able to see freedom one day. I know it's his time that he got he's back and forth in court with it, trying to, battle it as if they over-sentenced him for his charge. So hopefully he gets some relief soon. But, I ended up staying in the cell with him for a little while, and then it came my time to get moved, and I ended up getting moved in the block that was supposed to be the block that I was going to be in. And I can remember when I got moved in there, man, they moved me in the first cell that is right beside the sergeant's office, or the floor officer's office. It's right there, the first cell that you walk in the block in. I'm right there on the bottom tier. And they moved me in there with this old cat that at that time had been locked up longer than me, man. He was from Miami. Black, old, grouchy dude, man, with a bald head, clean shave, and they called him Disco. And man, he was a piece of work, man. He was a piece of work. He was always grouchy, always mean. And that happened to a lot of cats after they've been locked up for a long time. They take on that demeanor because they done went through so much and seen so much and so irritated and frustrated with their situation that they just always grouchy. They always mean. They always looking to argue. They always looking to debate. They always looking to have an issue with anything. But the main issue is the position that they got themselves in, the way their life is right now. And it all comes from decisions that they made or we made. And, sometimes it get overwhelming, man, and it change your whole persona. And that's what had happened to him. He ready to argue about anything and everything, and he ain't never happy about nothing. The only thing that I could see and it gave him pleasure was smoking a cigarette. He smoked. He always wanted to smoke cigarettes. And at this time, they was getting ready to take the cigarettes out of the system. And they had put an order in that said, cigarettes is going to stop being sold on this particular date. Anybody who has cigarettes after this date, they're not going to come and confiscate them, but you have a certain amount of grace period to get rid of them or to smoke them all up, because after that it will be contraband. So that created a whole nother dynamic within itself. But I can remember that's all he wanted was a cigarette and a cup of coffee, and he was all right. But if he didn't have that, oh yeah, he was Mr. Mean. He was Mr. Mean. But I was all right with him because he didn't, come at me with none of that foolishness in the cell, because like I say, he knew that I was a vet. He knew that I knew what the count was, and he ain't never come at me with that craziness, especially being locked in that cell with me, because like I say, you locked in a cell with somebody and something pop off, you better be 100% sure that you can be victorious. Because if you can't, your life is most definitely at risk. It's just too many things. Even if the dude is not a killer, just if he can physically overpower you, or he got that Bethlehem in there, then you're in a fight for your life. You know what I'm saying? That's just plain and simple. But if he can physically overpower you, then, it's just too many things in there that can cost you your life. I know dudes that got to fighting in cells and they fall, they hit their head. The toilet is cast iron. The floor is concrete. The tables is steel. The bed is steel. It's just too many things in there that can go wrong if you get, in an altercation, a physical altercation inside that cell. So when you do be in those type of situations where you got to get in a physical altercation, you better have a game plan. You better be ready. You got to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, because, like I say, ain't no help coming for you, brother. There ain't no help. And if help do come, is 10 times out of 10 it's going to be too late. Whatever somebody going to want to do to you, if you in that cell with them, they're going to be able to do it to you before any type of relief comes to help you, brother. And trust me, I've seen it. I know what I'm talking about. But, like I said, me and him was, we was coexisting in the cell, whatever. I ended up, trying to get a job, man. I was putting in for the job in there, trying to get a barber's job at the time. They, I had the qualifications, I had my license or whatever, and they usually supposed to hire licensed barbers, but they already had barbers on the pod. They was like, well, your application, you can put it in, but we already have somebody has a job, and if it comes available, we'll keep you in mind. And that was all I had to go by at the time. So you had to wait till somebody either get moved, get transferred, or whatever, get locked up, lose the job, and you on the list to get the job because you qualify for the job. So like I say, I got into my routine then, man. I try to find my way on here, man. I figured the best therapy for me was always trying to read or work out. So I got in a workout in a reading program, man, where I read certain portions of the day. I work out certain portions of the day. And for the most part, I just try to stay out of the way. You know, a lot of people on the institution end up knowing me. So a lot of people want to kick it with me, talk to me, young, older, whatever. But, you know, like I say, I kept it minimal. I didn't like being out in the block that much because once I seen that gun being bust, I didn't want to be in that position. To be out there, I had to get on the floor, end up getting hit with a straight bullet. You know, dudes was losing their eyes up there, man, getting their ribs broke, all types of foolishness. And I wasn't trying to be a part of that. I definitely wasn't trying to lose my eye or get shot in the face or anything like that, man, because I couldn't recover from that, man. I just couldn't recover from that. It just would have turned me. I would have been a savage. You know, I'm walking around with one eye because I got shot in prison. Oh man, I would have been mad at the world. And yeah, so I ain't really like going out. Then if you in the shower, this is how vicious these people is up there. If you are in this shower and somebody get to fighting or anything like that and you on that block, they expect you to lay down in the shower. The nasty, filthy shower. They expect you to lay down and spread out in the shower. If you don't, they will walk up to the shower, and when they can remove the open the door, they'll shoot you, put the dog on you and everything, and drag you out the shower buck naked in front of everybody, humiliate you, cuff you up, whoop you, and do all of this. So man, I just said to myself, man, nah, I ain't really trying. And they was fighting up there. I mean, they was getting it in because, like I said, this is a supermax, but they didn't have the criteria to fit the supermax, so they was trying to make the criteria. They was putting a lot of gang members up there. So the gang members up there was comfortable because they was in the majority. Most of down on Flatland, even if you got the gang activity going on out there that started in VA, you still ain't gonna have at most maybe 10, that's a big number, 10, 12 dudes in the block that may be affiliated with the same gangs or whatever. And on here, you may be in a block with 80 people and it may be 60 gang members in there or better. You see what I'm saying? So you dealing with the gangs whether you want to or not. You gonna have to deal with them because they run in the shower. You got a blood shower, you got a Crip shower, you got a GD shower, you got a Muslim shower, you got you know, and it ain't number like 7, 8 showers. So what showers? You know what I'm saying? And they telling dudes if you get in this shower and you ain't asked us to be able to get in the shower, you not affiliated with whatever shower this is assigned to, then they taxing. I want you to pay me $50 a month for getting in that shower, man, for washing yourself, man. You know, and if you don't pay it, they gonna jump on you. You know, whoever the leader of the gang is gonna send an order, say, you know, do this to him, do that to him. So it's like suicide bombers, man. You know, they drive a plane into it and they gonna die. And the same thing with these gangs. If they get an order to tell certain members to do this to you, they the one that's gonna get shot. They the one that's gonna go to jail while somebody else is just sitting there calling the shot. But they gonna do it because they have to do it. You see what I'm saying? So, like I say, this created an even more dangerous atmosphere, man. And all the white dudes up there, man, the few that it was, you know, they catch holy hell. They ain't getting in no shower. Even the weak black dudes, they get in that shower. Man, them dudes is waiting for them when they get out, taxing them. They may pull up on them while they in the shower. Man, what you doing in this shower, man? This Crip shower, man, this blood shower, whatever. You know, you got to pay when you come up out there, you know, boom, 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 like that. So it was crazy. Everybody had one shower. They say, oh, this is the civilian shower. Everybody is not affiliated with these gangs or whatever with the other shower. In the same way with the phones. Them dudes go get on the phone, the doors open, dude might be new in there, he run to get to a phone, he trying to call his people, let them know where he at, or da-da-da-da, and he out there on the phone. Them dudes might walk up to him while he on the phone like, man, what you doing on this phone, man? You know, this blood phone, bro. You can't use this phone. You know, a dude be like, man, what's up, man? I'm just trying to call my people. Bop, boop, boop, boop. They jump straight on him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they set the pace up there, man. And more or less, the administration allowed them to do it because they want to see you fight. They want to see, you know, this controversy so they can justify keeping the prison open, so they can justify this is people that's out of control. So they going to shoot and all this. And then they started making little man, they had little packs up there with the gangs, telling the gangs, look, man, if you do this and you get involved with this and you get a fight, or we ain't gonna shoot you first, we gonna just separate yourself, we gonna shoot them. You know, it was. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. This is what was going on up there. It was just insane, man. You know, so I'm peeping all of this. I'm gathering information, and I'm saying to myself, man, I am most definitely, you know, in the matrix, man. This is not how you do time. This is not, you know, what being locked up and being in an institution is about. This is some new stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? But this is what was going on up there. Whether I liked it or not, I had to adapt, cope, and adjust to it because this was the playing field. And when you in there, you in there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go with the flow, man. So like I say, fortunately for me, really, really fortunate for me, and maybe for others as well, you know, people knew me, so they knew I was an old timer. They knew all this new stuff they doing, because these dudes in their 20s and stuff, and they ain't even been in penitentiary hot 5 years or something. So they knew me, because somebody gonna always know of you if you've been in the penitentiary a certain amount of time and you have already created a name for yourself. So they was like, man, with me, which it didn't matter to me, because you definitely was not going to tell me where to take a shower. You definitely was not going to tell me when I could use the phone or any other thing that you know involved my free will or my own decision making. If you won't know police, if you ain't had no badge on your chest and a uniform, you won't gonna tell me when and where I could do this or that. Man, nah, not me. You know, so. Yeah, but I can remember, man, them telling me, man, when I was coming in there one day to get in the shower, dude was like, because I'm going to get in whatever shower's open. And dude was like, oh, yeah, OG, you good. That don't, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah. You know, because, yeah, that wasn't going to work with me. That would have been right there my first, you know, and maybe last incident, you know, because I wasn't going for none of that. How you going to come in here and tell me where I'm going to shower or when I'm going to use the phone? And I was in penitentiary, man, when you was in diapers, or I was in penitentiary before you even went to first grade. Nah, that ain't gonna work, bro. You know, nah, that ain't gonna work. So like I say, the old timers, not just me, the other ones, more or less, they didn't have to deal with that type of foolishness. But all them other younger dudes and all them new, man, they had to deal with it. And they was paying or they was getting slayed. And you know, and that's just how it was going down on there. And them dudes knew they was gonna get shot. They knew the dog was gonna attack them. But they was trying to establish their dominance on the institution. They was trying to establish their reputation. They was trying to establish their brand, be it Blood, be it Crip, be it Muslim. They was just letting you know, we ain't going for this. We ain't going for that. We gonna carve our way in here, and this is our land. This is how we gonna carry. Just like y'all got that, we got this, and boom, we together. You know, and like I say, the only thing about that ended up irritating me, man, was that, like I say, they're going to jump on you for anything you do. They're going to gang up and come at you. You ain't fighting one of them. You can just forget that. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to do that for anything they feel that you violated them for, anything that they feel that you know, did them wrong. This is how they coming at you. But at the same time, they won't go in at the administration like that. The administration is your main oppressor. The administration is the one this putting this pressure down on you, but you ain't gonna attack them, you know. And it's understandable to a certain extent, because I know that when you go at the administration, man, you really making a career decision, or you making a life decision, because they can kill you. You know what I'm saying? They can find a way to justify taking your life. And if they don't do that, the penalty is going to be so high, you know, you're going to go to court, you're going to get more charges, you're going to get sent to wherever. You're going to segregation for God knows how long. You definitely going to take a brutal beat, because they're going to beat you when you get the handcuffs on, no matter whether you're on high land or low land. If you attack an officer, you can automatically expect to take a whoop. You see what I'm saying? So I can understand why people feel like that they wouldn't want to go at the administration. But at the same time and in the same breath, if you stand on principles, if you stand on your constitution of what you believe in, then that should apply to everybody. It should not be no picking and choosing. This should apply to everybody. If anybody opposed, if you are part of this organization and you say these are things that we don't accept, if you do that, you violate, then we're going to retaliate. Then that should apply to the COs as well. And I found out up there that it didn't. You know what I'm saying? 90-some% of the time it didn't, because you see the police dragging them, you see the police disrespecting them, be it as a Blood, a Crip, or whoever, and they, you know, parts of they don't accept disrespect. But the police do it. The police call you the N-word. The police scream on you. The police make you get down on your knees. The police do all of this. And I can remember one day we used to go out for rec. And they used to line us up to take us out for rec. And as they line us up to take us out for rec, they would, have a couple of officers right there. They would pat you down and all of this stuff to make sure you ain't got no weapon or nothing on you. And then they would, send you out to rec. If you got anything in your pockets or anything that you aren't supposed to have, they may take it out of the pocket, throw it on the floor, tell you get it when you come back in, or either they taking it as contraband, or they might just say, go back to your cell, your rec been canceled today. Stuff like that. So I can remember being in line one day, we was going out for rec, and you had, this was the Crips, and you had a couple of the Crips dudes up there, and they was talking and laughing and joking, waiting for the time to come for them to shake them down as the line moving forward. And dudes is going out for rec as you get shook down. So I can remember, man, the dude was like, one of the two dudes that was up there shaking down, he was like, man, stop all that joking, And dude was like, what? He said, shut up all that noise and stop all that joking. You heard what I said. So he was like, man, so now you'll tell me you can't even talk. He said, that's what I said, be quiet. So he was like, yeah, whatever. So he still just whispering to the dude. Now he lowered his tone, but he said, oh, you can't hear? So he said, man, I'm just talking to him, man. We get ready to go out for rec, man. What's up? He said, get out of line. Get out of line. So dude like, what's up? He said, get out of line. So he step out of line and he goes over there to him. He tell him, get down on your knees. So he get down on his knees. You know what I'm saying? He started feeling. He said, take everything out your pocket. So dude reach in his pocket, take everything out of his pocket. He got a pair of earbuds, for his player. So he said, throw that on the floor. So he throw it on the floor and everything. He picked it up, put it back there, and he said, yeah, that's contraband. He said, man, I paid for that, man. He said, man, it's contraband. You know what I'm saying? He said, you don't supposed to be handing in your pocket. You going outside. You ain't got your Walkman, a player to go with it. What you doing with it in your pocket? It's contraband. He said, man, yeah, whatever. He said, whatever, what? They want you to talk bad. You got a dude standing over top of him in the tower with the gun, bearing right down on him. He gonna step to the side, so the dude gonna have a clear shot on you. He talking trash to him. So dude like, all right, man, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's my property, man. You can't take my property. He said, yeah, all right. He said, now, if you want to go off a wreck, you get up and you get back in line and keep your mouth closed. So he got up, go back to the line, but he said, well, what about my earbud? He said, you ain't getting them. They contraband. He said, man, you not going to take my earbud. He said, get back out of the line. So he get back out of the line, he go over there. He said, get down on your knees. He was like, for what? You know what I'm saying? So the dude, and he done cocked the gun. Bah-bah. You know what I'm saying? He said, you ain't gonna get down? And dudes was telling him, man, he said, go ahead, get down, cuz. Go ahead, get down, man. They tripping, they ain't got nothing on you, man. They just trying to cross you up. So he tell him to shut up. So he get down, you know what I'm saying? They come, they get behind him, they cuff him up, they pick him up. Two officers come in there, they pick him up, hold him by both arms. They taking him out there to the salad port. So as they taking him out there to the salad port, he turned around. He said, they ain't got nothing on me, cuz. They just tripping, they racist up here. So as soon as he get out in the salad port, we can see the salad port from where we standing at our vantage point. As soon as he get out to the salad port, man, they start beating him. Boom, boom, boom. Slam them all down to the ground, and we can see this. So now the dude is up there in the tower. He tell us, go to your cell, rec council. Everybody go to your cell, because they know we can see what's going on. So we go to our cell, start dispersing, going to our cell. They done canceled our rec for nothing. So while we going to our cell, the other Crip dudes see this. You see what I'm saying? So they beating the dude out there for no reason. You see what I'm saying? He handcuffed, he shackled, they beating him down. So the Crip dudes see it. They end up locking the dude up, So I can remember the next day, man, all the Crips out there, and they talking, discussing what happened. And one of the Crips is confirming, I seen what they did too. So now, why y'all ain't gonna get the police? He just did your brother, your family. He just did y'all wrong. Outside the rules and regulations of their job, and y'all ain't gonna bust a move on them. They start talking, and they know everybody watching, so they talking about, yeah, they got the head of police. When he come back to work, they gonna do this, they gonna do that. That's the rumor, that's the word that's going around. You see what I'm saying? So, man, they ended up, talking about it too much and get back to the people. The people come in there like a day or two later, lock the place down, come and get all the Crips that's in there and start dispersing them, putting them in different blocks so they had less numbers. They might have left about 3 of them up in there. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, if it's 3 in there, if it's 1 in there, then if you represent that, then that's what you're going to do. You're going to make a move for your people. You're going to show that that's not what you're going to tolerate. They ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that was telling to me. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say, you know, they pick and choose who they going to come at. But you're not coming at the person that's really oppressing you. You're not coming at the person that's really abusing you. Same dog bit you, bit me. They want us to fight amongst each other. They want us to kill each other because we entertainment for them. They're going to shoot us when we finish fighting just so they can say they doing their job. Going to hurt you more than you get hurt in the actual fight unless somebody got that Bethlehem. And then, you know what I'm saying, we just entertainment for them. We cannon fodder. We on the front line. You know, so they want us to do that, and it keeps our mind off of dealing with the person who really is your oppressor, the person who really is trying to, you know what I'm saying, make your life even more miserable than it already is because you already without your liberty and your freedom, period. You see what I'm saying? So, man, that's the game. That's the politics that being played in there, and it takes these young dudes some eye-opening and ear-opening to understand that. Man, to start to understand that we not each other's enemy, bro. We in the same boat. We all trying to fight to get up out of here. We all trying to get back to our families, and we all trying to get back to the free world. And we keep killing each other. We just bag ourselves up all the way around the board. But the administration knew that, you know what I'm saying? And they played on that, and they used that to their advantage every chance they get, man. And they was busting that gun up there, brother. I'm telling you, they was busting it because those dudes would fight at the drop of a dime, or they'll make a move on somebody at the drop of a dime. It won't nothing to be outside, and even outside, if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's whatever, if you outside and dudes get to fighting, boom, they gonna bust that gun. Get on the ground. You gonna have to lay down in the snow. You gonna have to lay down in the rain, mud puddles, whatever. Wherever you at, you got to get in, or you gonna get shot, and the dog gonna bite you. And then, like I say, once they get the corporates that's involved and get them in, they still just walking around talking and using that as leisure time so they won't have nothing else to do when this is over, but at the expense of you laying down, face down in the mud, face down in the snow. You know what I'm saying? They just walking around talking about NASCAR and country bands and you know, like, get us up, man, and get us in here. If you even say that, they gonna try to jump on you. So, man, I'm telling you, man, we was in a vicious world. This is why I say it was the worst place I had ever been to, the worst experience I had during my incarceration because of the way it was being ran, the way it was controlled. And you couldn't talk to nobody. You couldn't get no resolve. You couldn't, you know, the paperwork wasn't even allowed to be filled out up there. So, man, it was woo, just sitting back thinking about it now, man. I'm telling you, man, it was something to deal with. You had to be mentally strong, man. Physically strong to protect yourself, mentally strong to protect everything about your whole essence, you know, because you would lose your mind up there. You know, you would lose control up there. And it was easy to do because of the pressure that you was under. You was not under just physical pressure, physical threat, but you was under mental pressure and mental threat. Every day, 24/7, 365, and it won't no relief from it, you know. So, yeah, I had to lock in up there, man. I had to lock in, man, harder than I ever had to lock in because, like I said, I had my own principles. I had my own constitution that I stood by that I wasn't going to let no certain things happen to me. And if it did happen to me, I knew me and I knew I would retaliate. Even that retaliation might cost me my life. You see what I'm saying? I knew I would because I couldn't sleep well to know that somebody did this to me, abused me, took advantage of me, beat me when I got handcuffs on, did all of this to me, and then you let me right back out around you and you gonna walk around me and act like it ain't nothing happened. I can't live like that. I didn't want to live like that. Be it even if it was a game and they jump on me and I survive and then you put me right back there with them and you think you gonna walk around me and you done did this to me? No, sir. No, sir. So, you know, that kept me on edge the whole time I was up there because this was always a threat. Every day, all day, this was a threat, a possibility of it happening because of the atmosphere up there, because of the culture up there. This what was going on. And nobody was really exempt. You see what I'm saying? Nobody was really exempt. You just had, because you could have a reputation But the young dudes may not know you have a reputation, or they may just want to try you because you got a reputation just to get some points off of you, just to get a name off of you. You see what I'm saying? So, man, I was going through it when I was up there, man. I got pictures and everything of me up there, man. I don't even look like myself because of the stress that I was up under. You know, but man, thankfully I got through it, man. I got through it, but I know a lot of people that didn't. I seen dudes lose their mind up there. I seen dudes get abused up there. I seen dudes that was one way, it was never the same again. I can remember, man, I was in the cell one day. I didn't even go outside all the time. Sometimes I pick and choose when I went outside. You know, if I knew it was a beef brewing or something, it might be a fight out, I ain't go out because I didn't want to get on the ground. But I can remember staying in my cell a lot of times when people went out for wreck, and I work out in my cell by myself, and I'm in the front cell so I could see everything. I can remember a dude being in the cell, he was screaming and hollering and making a lot of noise because they had something of his that he wanted back, some property or something, and they kept coming to the cell and telling them to stop making all that noise. They were going to do this and do that, and most people out for wreck. So they came and got him. Get on the ground, turn around, cuffed him up and all that, put the cuffs on him, dragging him out there, walking in with the shackles and handcuffs on, 2 officers beside him, and they telling him that, you know, we told you stop banging on the door, now you going to jail, now you going to jail. He said, man, y'all got my property, man, y'all. And he said, they said, shut up, you going to jail. They dragging him out. So I'm at my door and I'm looking out at him, and I can remember him, he tried to turn around and holler at his homeboy. He said, man, call my mom and tell her, man, that they. And man, before he could say that, he walking with 2 dudes on his arm, shackles and handcuffs. So I seen this with my own eye. They tripped him and slammed him to the ground face first. Bust his whole face open, man. Bust it wide open.
The Banky special. Yeah. Pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.